I'd like to call this public meeting to order. First order of business is to appoint Mr. Peter White as a full board member for the remainder of this term.
I move that we appoint Peter White.
Second?
Second?
Oh, you can have it. And all in favor? 3-0. All right, congratulations, and next year, please run for office.
You have to be sworn into count, so could you raise your right hand and repeat after me? I, Peter White,
I, Peter White,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent on me
all the duties incumbent on me
as a member of the Zoning Board of Adjustment,
as a member of the Zoning Board of Adjustment,
according to the best of my abilities,
according to the best of my abilities,
agreeable to the rules and regulations of the Constitution,
agreeable to the rules and regulations of the Constitution. I have one in my pocket.
laws and rules of the state of New Hampshire.
Laws and rules of the state of New Hampshire.
So help me God.
So help me God.
You're sworn in. You need to sign this, and then I think Joanna will give it to, do I need to sign it too, Joanna? Yes. You need to sign it first.
Hey, Terry. All right, while they're done doing signatures, I'd also like to point out that we're going to seat Kevin Bassett as an alternate for Teresa Bascom for this evening.
For 19, 16.
Thank you.
Next order of business is public hearing. I'd like to open case 16005 VA, application from Patrick and Nancy Reagan, requesting a variance from Article 2, Section F3C of the zoning ordinance to allow less than the required 300 feet of frontage on a town or state-maintained right-of-way. Property identified as tax map 61, lot 18, sublot 4, and is located at 4 Shadow Lane, Nottingham. All right, folks, this is a legal proceeding, so it's not a big crowd, so I don't think I have to chide the audience about being quiet. So basically, the rules are that you guys come forward, state your names, and you present your case, and then we hear from abutters.
Okay, great.
Right.
I'm Nancy Reagan, my husband.
Patrick.
And we are looking to move my parents closer. Both my parents are in their 80s. And my father's somewhat failing in health. So they would like to move close to us so that we can be basically their caretakers as they get older. And that's the biggest part of it.
We do have 42 acres and the room to build, and none of the abutters will see the addition. It's back in the woods.
Our house is not visible from the road.
What is the lot frontage on Shadow Lane there?
200?
208 or something.
208?
Oh, okay. Guess I should put the glasses on. They work great with two hands, not so much. Oh yeah, 208.39.
At the center, the lot is almost 1,000 feet wide.
Oh yeah, behind that front piece,
Yes.
the dog leg. Yeah, you kind of just have your driveway and that dog leg.
You just described it as an addition.
It is not, well,
It'll be a few feet away, but it will be connected, and right now, the terrain goes up and down quite a bit, and we're not sure exactly what that connector will be, but they should be able to walk out of their house right into our house.
Via a deck, it looks like.
yes.
Yes.
So does a deck constitute a connector?
Yeah,
Yes?
that's why they're before us.
Okay.
So then, my question is, if it's a connector, is it just another part of the existing house, or is it really a new building?
So I'm gonna ask Joanna, I mean, does Paul consider this an addition?
He's calling it, yeah, thank you, a duplex.
A duplex, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's one building?
So that's why it falls under the multifamily.
Right.
Yes.
But there's not necessarily going to be a roof over that deck or walls? Just,
No, we haven't really worked that out. It could be some type of a sunroof, or it can be open. We've spoken to Paul about it. We're still working out. There's probably a 15-foot difference in elevation, exactly how
Uh-huh.
we're going to do that.
got it.
And you
So,
want to
but
minimize steps.
as far as the,
Yes.
as far as he's concerned, that's enough
Yes.
to make it a second unit and of one,
Of one, yes.
okay.
So, then my curiosity question is, if it's really attached, then why is there a variance?
Because it's turning into a multifamily
Right.
building.
Right, it's a,
Okay, gotcha.
right, because it's attached, it's a multifamily. If
Yeah.
it wasn't attached, it could be a subdivision, which would be even harder, actually.
Yeah, okay.
So it's better to be a
Yep.
multifamily and attached. And I get the attachment piece, I mean, the ease of egress for your folks is important.
Yes.
So you mentioned 15 feet elevation difference?
We haven't quite worked it out, but it could be as much as that.
Yeah,
You might be able to deal with it by changing the terrain.
Yes.
You won't know until you get bulldozing around. probably.
Exactly.
Okay, I think I understand that now.
Other questions from the board? Butters?
Steve Ross, I live at 5 family, and we used to support for living. It's a good idea.
Yep, thank you.
Yes.
And the
Nice
board has
coat.
received no correspondence from other abutters?
I don't know, Joanna, have we received any correspondence on the case?
Just one phone call, and after just discussing it with the person who didn't identify themselves, they're fine with it too.
Okay.
Okay. So the request is for,
so I'd like to suggest that the board consider this a one-time only, specific to this property.
So it's like, no further subdivision?
Well, I think they'd have to come in again before, so I mean, I don't know if you have to make it a one-time. 'Cause it's-
I don't know how they'd ever have frontage to do another subdivision.
No, I mean, they'd have to come back
they
in.
could build roads. I mean, if somebody, maybe even after these guys wanted to do something.
And that's what I'm implying, that other things would have to be done to make,
Right, but they'd have to do that anyways.
But you have a wetland crossing there, that would be difficult.
Oh, and before the house, there's a, you can see there's a swamp
Yeah.
on the other side of the property.
We had that all surveyed, and all the setbacks are shown on the drawing that he gave us.
Yep.
Is that this one?
Yes.
Yes.
And so who did that for you?
Charles, but his name should be on there.
I know, that's what I was looking for, I didn't see it. Usually it is.
Zilch. Charles.
Oh, yes.
Charles Zilch?
Yeah. Miles Cook is the one that he is working with.
Oh, is your builder?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, how could we forget Zilch?
Yeah, I know it.
I mean, Kevin, I'm not overly concerned that there would be a lot of backlot subdivision activity based on the layout of all the other properties there.
Plus, they'd have to come in before the planning board, so
Right.
it's not like
Right.
they're not gonna have to do something if they wanted to do a backlot subdivision, so.
Right.
Hopefully not, we like our privacy.
Right, yeah. You got quite a bit
It
of
was a
land, I was
stretch even
surprised.
to get him to get my parents.
I was surprised you
I
had
mean,
42
I get your
acres.
concern, totally, but just the layout of the property, and then they'd have to come before us to do that again also, and then this history would be there.
But that could be a whole new planning, a whole new board, so.
True.
It's just a precedence, that's all. And all I'm asking is for the board to consider it.
Right.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, ma'am.
am I understanding correctly that this would only apply for this particular case? Or are you
Well-
concerned that this variance would apply for any future, concern, or plans for the property? Is that what your concern is?
No, I understand this variance is for this,
Just
for this application.
All right.
But the precedence is, if we allow this once, would they then have a right per se to ask for it again?
Well, I don't think that the zoning board sets precedent.
Right,
Right.
That's,
The courts do that, but we don't. We take every case individually
right.
and look at the story.
Mhm.
And whatever we say now doesn't have any relevance in the future on anything. That's my understanding,
Right,
right, from,
from the trainings I've been to as well.
yeah.
And to me, the biggest distinguishing piece is the uniqueness of this lot, in that the 2-acre lot next door has more frontage than they do, and they have 40 acres.
Right, and
It's a very
since,
unique feature of this lot.
and I have an issue, I have a problem with restricting land use, in perpetuity when you don't know what's gonna be happening in the future, or what engineering's gonna do with housing or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's 40 acres of land. I would be hesitant to say this is the only thing they could ever do to it, with it. Maybe to restrict it on whatever the requirement is, which I believe was 4 acres
And 300 feet.
and 300 feet.
So,
I see what
so
you're saying.
far, they're stuck with 300 feet. They're stuck with 208.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so there would have to be major changes, other purchases, what have you, roads. you
Roads.
know.
In the
So
plan
that I
board.
understand, but as is, that's all my only concern. Okay.
So I make a motion that we accept case 16005 VA as written.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain? 4 and 1. All right, guys, that passes. There is a 30-day appeal window, but I don't see a lot of groundswell of opposition, so you'll get a letter of notice shortly from Joanna.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Only other, we have 2 other agenda items. Oh, I'd like to close the hearing on public hearing case 16005. And then we have meeting minutes from our last meeting. Only thing I found, Joanna, was line 96. It should be assessing clerk, not accessing clerk.
Was 96?
Line 96.
ASS.
Any other
No.
additions, corrections to the minutes? Make a motion to accept the minutes as corrected.
Seconded?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Abstain?
I'm sorry, who seconded?
Peter did.
Peter.
And I was not here.
Kevin abstained. And bylaws. Anybody have any additions, corrections, comments about our bylaws?
Oh, yeah.
It's probably been a while since you read those.
Well, no, well, she sent that back
Yeah,
a
couple weeks
while
ago.
ago, yeah, and I quickly read them, but I didn't do anything since.
Because you weren't expecting
And I
to
didn't
be.
bring them, so I forgot all about it.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to discuss under officers, number 3, clerk.
Clerk.
We never elected clerk. I think maybe when the bylaws were maybe initially done, maybe we didn't have a paid clerk.
Land use secretary, right?
So I think we should eliminate that because it says a clerk shall be elected, not maybe, shall be, and we never do it.
Should we change it to
We
May?
could put it may be,
We should change it to may, yeah.
may, yeah.
Instead of shall.
Yeah,
Go ahead with that.
that works for me.
Seconded.
Right.
Did you capture that, Joanna?
Change clerk shall to may.
Yes.
It's less restrictive, I like that.
With Joanna, who needs a clerk? She does it
So-
all.
Our process on amendments is we ratify that tonight, and then we bring it up again at our next meeting and can vote on it. Okay.
So it's just,
Sits,
it's a motion.
it's a
that
motion.
Sits until,
Do we vote on it tonight? I'm kidding.
You can, you're voting on the change, and then you'll vote to approve the
The next
bylaws
meeting.
As
altogether once
amended.
it's changed.
okay.
Anything else that you guys want to add or see? All right. All in favor of the changes proposed by Bonnie?
Aye.
5-0. All right.
Will we be meeting in the next year, or?
I don't know. Maybe after I'm not elected
It might be
anymore.
a while before.
Any action on cases coming up?
No.
And the OEP thing is June, right?
Yeah, June 4th, and if you haven't had a chance to look at it, I have an example of the registration right here. There's some really good looking stuff, but a lot of you have been to many of these, so they may be repeats for many of you.
Sounds like a lot of it's just about the ZBA functions and,
Yeah, ZBA and planning, so it's definitely some good stuff to go to, at least in my opinion, but I haven't been to a lot yet.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. What, is that in May what, do you know?
June
June
4th.
before,
It's a Saturday.
Summer.
It's in Concord this year, right?
Is it in Concord? It's at the
Yes,
Capone
in
Center,
Concord, Capone, yeah.
right at the end of 393 there.
Mm-hmm.
It goes from 8 AM to 3:30.
bag lunch?
No, I believe there's a lunch.
There's a
break.
lunch in there.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't have that on here anywhere.
If you haven't gone, it's worth going, especially, you know, if you're a new timer to the board, learning all the rules and regulations on how you should proceed and stuff.
yeah,
And the
I-
board pays.
no,
for your job,
even
and
better,
for
but,
your job.
yeah, I'm planning on going just to, like I say, fill out my knowledge a little bit.
Excellent.
I'm still a newcomer.
All right. Make a motion to adjourn.
Seconded?
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Kevin, thanks for coming out for a short one.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting